Dead doll stories to scare you to death. Dead doll house every house has its haunted house, a place locals warn you to stay away from. Here in my small town of Sarbatas we call the dead doll house. They say anyone who goes in never comes back out. Me and my friend Trey Stevens would soon find out why all those before us have gone missing. Oh, my name is Sarah. Sarah No Age, yes. I know my last name is a nightmare. Though it could have been worse, I could have gotten my dad's last name, Iceland. No, thank you, that's a name I wouldn't even be caught dead having on my gravestone. But I digress. Hey, Sarah, you coming? I'm almost to the dollhouse. Did you remember to bring the camera and flashlights like we talked about? Aw, shit. I thought you said you would bring them. I completely forgot about them. It's fine, I figured you'd probably forget, so I took the liberty of packing them just to be safe. When I was getting ready for school, I packed everything in my bag before my mom came in to check on me. When she saw the flashlights and asked if we were going to that damn doll house, which I lied and told her no. But I don't think she believed me, and I'm not sure if she bought the lie. But I'm not dumb. Enough to ask her. Fair point, I met your mom once, and I remember how mad she got when she thought you did lie to her about something. How much farther do we need to go to get to this dead doll house? Anyways, I called ahead to Trey, who was what felt like miles ahead of me. When he turned to face me grinning, "We are almost there, just another half-mile this way," he pointed to a rigid trail leading into the unknown. If we go missing, no one will find us. Just the tapes we left behind if we don't make it out. As Trey said it with a ghostly moan, a tree branch snapped in the distance, making me scream like a little girl. And for a second swear I may have peed my pants. Meanwhile, Trey looked like he just saw a ghost. I jerked in the direction he was facing, but I didn't see anything. But we both heard childlike giggles coming from somewhere. What's a child doing out here in the middle of nowhere? Trey asked me, damned if I know, I said, half wishing it was just the wind and our minds trying to scare us. As we rounded the last corner, everything was silent the rest of our short walk to the house. We first saw the house, which looked like one of those houses one of those billionaire people would live in, if it didn't look so haunted. The house was made from a black wood of some kind I didn't know the name of, nor did anyone around town. But the shutters were unique, and I'd never seen anything like it before. Even though the roof and most of the front door was rotten, sunken in, and were kicked in from teens and drunk folks causing trouble, who are also probably the same people that went missing. There was moss and vegetation growing on one side of the house. I was so caught up looking at the plant life, I didn't even notice what Trey was pointing at when he grabbed my attention, saying, "Look up there." I swear I can see a child's face looking down at us from one of the top floor windows. Why would a child be in there, I asked, knowing I already knew the answer of it being the haunted doll of a dead doll house that was probably watching us, waiting to make us its next playthings, or whatever it did to those it claimed as its own. Which I didn't want me or Trey to find out what it did. We could hear the wood in the house cracking and making agate-wrenching, crackling, moaning sound before the sound of a child's laughter rang out to us yet again. That's when we heard rustling of nearby leaves, and then there was my friend Abby and her boyfriend Kyle. Shit you to almost made me shit myself. I scolded Abby for jumping the shit out of me when Abby and Kyle both went pale. Abby spoke. "First, where did the trail? We were just on go," she yelled. As we all just then began to notice the thick fog that had creeped in on us out of nowhere, when we started to hear twigs snapping just inside the fog, and more child's giggling coming from the fog. We all grabbed the flashlights Trey had packed when Abby saw a figure walk past us just inside the fog, but close enough for us to get a glimpse of a fleeting figure in white past us through the fog. Just then more figures started coming out of the fog. And we all just made a beeline for the dead doll house when we heard the thudding of feet coming from behind us. We ran into the house, slamming the door behind us or what was left of a door to close when we heard the sound of footsteps creaking on the old worn-down porch. Abby and Kyle looked scared out of their minds, trying to understand what they just said. Before they vanished, in a puff of smoke. What the fuck? Where did Abby and Kyle go? Trey yelled. I don't know, I said. That's when we both heard screams coming from the basement just below us. When we both made a bolt for the basement, but the house kept changing on us. With every new room we entered, we'd end up anywhere but where we wanted to get to. When Abby's blood-curdling scream broke through the thumping of my heart trying to jump out of my body and run away from this place, everything went silent, and then a head came falling down the chimney and rolled before coming to a stop just before Trey and me. It was a doll head. But was that doll's head also Abby's? The doll's head rolled and said, join us. We want you to stay with us forever, and we can have tea parties and have fun. At that moment, I knew what happened to all the other people who dared to enter the house. Abby was gone. Kyle was gone. Trey. Oh, hell. Trey. Where are you? Silence. My gut sank as I realized Trey was also gone. How did I get to the top floor of this house? When did I get there? Sounds echoed from all around me above and below me as well. A doll of a small child charged at me from a corner of the road. And then a flash of white light blinded both the child doll and me. And I heard a voice yell, get out now. And I bolted from the house as fast as possible. When I raced past the back door, I heard them wailing like a pack of jackals on my heels. And then silence. I made it out of there somehow, but I've never been the same. Now the legend talks about new dolls being seen roaming the grounds of the dead doll house, and no one will ever believe this tale. Yet again did I ever truly make it out of there that night.